So you just had to go there, Horace Cooper. You went all identity politics on me. You said people who look like me, not like you. You went there to the skin color thing. So I'm going to go there. How do conservatives, whether it's the institutional GOP, the RNC, or conservative candidates, how do they talk to Black America? Because what we've witnessed in the last, I would say at least 40, 50 years, is a subconscious or explicit decision by conservative establishment figures to say, well, Black America votes Democrat, we shouldn't even bother, just to write off this community. Can a person who looks like me go into the barbershop and talk to Black Americans? If yes, what is it we talk about? Because it's not going to be CRT, is it the tax regime? Can we have that conversation? Can conservatives have that conversation? If so, what's the frequency?
Well, absolutely we have to have that conversation. That's essential. The way that our founders created this country was that we persuade people. When you actually take the time to figure out where people are, it makes it easier for you to communicate with them. Black Americans are more people of faith than any other ethnic group in America. Unfortunately, mainstream conservative movement, the Republican Party, people who are policyholders on the right, have been cowed into saying, oh, let's not talk about matters of faith. Let's not talk about an issue that would give us a huge advantage with any particular constituency. It would be the equivalent of saying, don't talk about guns if you're trying to appeal to people on the Second Amendment. That is a huge issue. I'll give you another one. The crime problem is especially hard on Black Americans. We have let the left sell us on this idea that harsh punishments are in some way asymptomatic of some hostility to people who happen to be minorities. I want to say to you and your audience, we need to start talking about the death penalty again. We need to remember that if a 1-year sentence doesn't deter people, a 5-year sentence should be tried. If that doesn't, then a 10-year sentence. If that doesn't, then we need to start talking about the death penalty.
So let me jump in here. Yeah, I mean, I fully concur. There are certain crimes that should automatically trigger the death penalty, especially against the children. But there is this conventional wisdom that it was the 3 strikes and you're out, the mandatories for drug crimes that lost the conservatives the Black vote, or gained the Black vote even more for Democrats. Is that a fallacious conventional wisdom?
Absolutely. It's one of the biggest lies that are out there about our discourse. And so when we don't talk about the kinds of issues that would attract people, I would tell you gods, guns, and the gig economy, the 3 Gs, are really big issues in Black America. Even Blacks who think that America isn't welcoming them to the halls of the CEO of some of our Fortune 500 companies would like to be able to start their own business. And if you've ever been arrested or had any other issues, running your own business is actually a viable option. Guess what? The federal government and many of the blue states are zeroing in on these kind of proprietorships because they're not active places for union membership. They target them, they regulate them, they tax them. We should be talking more about them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with remembering that. Why can't we pray in our classrooms? The Supreme Court, an activist Supreme Court, said you can't have prayer. Well, why aren't we standing up, people of faith, and saying we believe that should be reversed? Louisiana had a policy that said rape, and this is unfortunate, but rape 2 or more children, even if they don't die, you get the death penalty. The Kennedy opinion, moderate to liberal conservative Kennedy, joined with the other liberals on the court and struck that down. We should be talking about restoring that. We absolutely, it's not a 4 out of 10 issue. It's not a 6 out of 10 issue. I want to hear from the guy who stands up, or gal, who stands up and says, oh, that's overly harsh. You've raped 2 children and we're going to execute you? Yes, absolutely. And if you'd like to reach through to Black America, who are the victims of this kind of behavior, that's the kind of thing that you do it.
All right, I have one more question on this issue before we move to another one. In the meantime, write this all down, guys. The new book by Horace Cooper is Put Y'all Back in Chains, How Biden Policies Harm Black Americans. I'm Sebastian Gorka. This is America First.